All right, everybody. I went sans hat today, but I do have the hat with me. We're going to be rocking it because my top light up here is going to be a little too shiny. Yes, go ahead.
I'm going to need you to put it on. I can't see you. There you go.
You should be able to see me. There we go.
Now I can.
Hopefully everybody can hear us because we didn't do an audio check. I don't have a pink hat. I've got to go with one of the standard Grimm black hats. I got a bunch of them laying around. I haven't received any sort of pink hat whatsoever. Bingo's saying we're a little gainy.
A little gainy. Oh, a little high. Yep. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Grimm, I've got it, and I've got something else for you.
All right.
So I haven't shown.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're well, by the way.
Hi, everybody.
Let me go ahead and formally open this show while you're pulling that up. Everyone, welcome to Starjump Station. We're excited to do this one tonight. This one had a little bit of a snafu with the YouTube link. I had to delete it, restart it, re-blast it out the socials again. So for those of you tuning in that were on YouTube, if there was any kind of craziness, sorry about that. Again, kind of weird. Social Confused says, oh my God, never seen you without a hat. That is me. Started thinning a long time ago, shaved my head, been shaving my head for about 10 years now and really enjoy it. Never have to worry about the hair. Ender, what do you got to bring up, buddy?
So I received this in the mail about 5 days ago. 5 days ago.
Love it.
And it is
it's a loincloth, right?
Fundraiser. Yes. And it's 7,500, 10,000, and 25K.
Amazing.
But here's the fun part. About 3 days later, I received in the mail another box with this.
Nice.
And Grimm, this will be coming along with your pink hat because you have earned this as well, sir.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll take it. So, I am going to happily accept that. It's been a lot of fun. Doing the St. Jude thing with you. There's my pink hat. Hopefully it fits my big head.
Pink hat. It'll fit.
Everyone, appreciate you coming to Starjump Station tonight. We are talking about the same thing probably every other Star Citizen stream is talking about, and that is Invictus ships. However, we do have something that the other streams don't tonight, courtesy of our very own VMXEO. Give him a salute in chat, by the way, everybody. There he is. We do have ship models that we can pull up in 3D and start testing some stuff. For example, if it fits, it sits, and maybe start inspecting some of the models with a few caveats, but we'll be able to do something a little different than the other people. VMXEO working very hard on the StarFab update to make sure we are possibly able to pump out all the new Invictus ships for Invictus, which would be very exciting because I would not have to do it, and that would be amazing. But it's a lot of work, and VMXEO is super busy with his day job. So thank you, VM, for pushing hard on StarFab. We know it is a big lift and pretty complicated. So everyone,
I'd argue we have 3 things that no one else has, Greg.
What is that? Let me hear the other 2 things.
So we've got the ship models.
Got the ship models.
We've got a custom Fleet Viewer livery giveaway tonight.
Look at Ender on top of this shit. Yes, custom Fleet Viewer livery tonight.
And we've got a St. Jude giveaway tonight as well.
We got a raffle.
It is a Gladius raffle.
For a kick-ass ship, the Gladius Valiant, which is pretty cool. Very, very cool.
Pretty badass. Courtesy of Bingo, who's in the chat right now.
Or Bingus. Yeah, exactly. Everyone, why don't we go ahead and jump into the St. Jude stuff right away? Okay, I'm going to flip us over here real quick to our multi-window here, and let me take down this animation that is currently playing. We currently do have 3 raffles going on for our St. Jude Play Live campaign or initiative, whatever you want to call it, going on for the month of April and May. We have 3 giveaways currently going. Aegis Gladius Valiant with LTI donated by Bingo Winchester. That is a $10 donation to our Tiltify link, which is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat and should pop up here momentarily in the Twitch chat. $10 donation. We're going to do that tonight. So if you want to get a ticket for that one, you got to do that donation tonight before the end of the stream, which is when we'll do that giveaway. On the 15th, so coming up very, very soon, 6 days away, on the 15th, we're doing an Anvil Carrick with LTI giveaway donated by GearCon. There's a $50 donation towards our Tiltify link. And then, of course, on the 30th, we have an RSI Polaris Corvette, the big monster torpedo launcher that also is with LTI, donated by GearCon as well. A $100 donation to the Tiltify link that will pop up in chat. And again, that is there we go. Things should go. $10 just came in from Rooster Rage for a new toy for the hospital play area and a Gladys Valiant. Rooster's always first to the batch with the donations. So
Thank you.
thank you very much, Rooster. It's I can speak first. I guess Ender will probably have something to say too, but we are still every day floored by the incredible generosity of you all in chat who've been coming and hanging out in the streams, even though sometimes we ramble or we cover stuff we've already covered. It's just a way to connect with you all and bring in money for this incredible initiative, something Ender's been spearheading for many years now. Within Starjump and before. We've raised an incredible amount of money over the course of about 39-ish days, maybe 40 days. We've raised $15,440. You can see it right above me. And from a lifetime standpoint, which is this year and then the last year or two, I think, we've raised $31,883, which is incredible. A lot of that hard work over there on the gentleman below me, Starjump Ender. So again, really, really incredible. We've said this many times, but we sincerely appreciate all that you all in our community and the Star Citizen community as a whole do for us. So it's really great. Ender, anything you want to add before I go on to the next thing?
Yeah, just none of that would be possible without the community. We
Yep.
would be sitting at 5 giant goose eggs if it weren't
Yeah.
for each and every one of you guys. And I appreciate you guys letting us be the talking heads and spearhead this kind of stuff
Yep.
for you and with you.
Rhino donating $30. Appreciate that, Rhino.
Rhino, crazy. Thank you. Rhino going for another one.
Yeah. And look, we can't, I know, we can't go much further in this either without thanking our 4 raffle prize donators. You see the slide up right here. I mean, I can't stress this enough. Big thanks to GearCon, obviously, who I believe is in chat. Maybe he's in chat. GearCon donating an absolutely massive amount of ships this year to the cause. So big shout out to GearCon. Seriously, done just amazing with his donations. Of course, our very own Bingo Winchester, the ship that we're giving away tonight, has been donated by Bingo. So big thanks to Bingo, of course, and others. Lazy Donuts, of course. Big thanks to Lazy for donating ships as well. And James from Icon City, which we are a partner of, donating a stream deck back in April that we gave away as part of the St. Jude initiative. So really, really cool. Again, everybody, we are doing that Gladius Valiant giveaway tonight. We'll do that raffle. It's technically a raffle. We will do that tonight, probably at the end of the stream. So you'll want to stick around for that. We are also going to be giving away a custom Fleet Viewer livery in Starjump Fleet Viewer. How we're going to do that is in just a little bit, I want to leave the Tiltify link pinned to the top of the YouTube chat for a little bit here, but in about 30 minutes or so, I'm going to put a link in there in the YouTube chat. We'll pin it, and you're going to leave a comment over there. And then those of you on Twitch, you're going to do the exclamation ticket. We'll get to that point very shortly, about 30 minutes. But we'll start both of them at the same time, and you'll be able to possibly win a custom livery in Starjump Fleet Viewer. Again, those coming to Fleet Viewer post IAE. It'll probably be in or post ILW. It'll probably be in our Victus update. So, okay. So that being said, let me just make sure our windows are set up here. Stand by. Apparently not. Stand by. Okay, there we go. There again, there's our Tiltify campaign page. Again, currently at $14,470. So absolutely incredible. One other thing I want to cover is Quantum Vegas.
15,000.
Oh, 15,000. What did I say? Said the wrong thing.
14.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're a whole $1,000 ahead.
Exactly. That's good. Quantum Vegas 2955 coming up April 12. Or sorry, I'm wrong on all my dates here, Ender. I shouldn't have drunk before this.
Good morning, Grim.
Coming up on July 12th, 25, only 63 days away. Thank you for that follow, Spudrista. Appreciate that. Addy Patty also with the follow earlier. Thank you very much. Again, Quantum Vegas 2955 coming up very soon, God Lord, July 12th. At Area
Ooh,
15 in Las Vegas. I'm juggling too many dates. So coming up very soon, again, there's going to be a host of people there, including Sean Tracy from CIG, who's the senior director of tools and tech content, as well as Tyler Witkin and Galacta. They will be there. There's going to be people from EE Studios, to Poets, Astro Historian, Paul Shelley. The list goes on and on. Big shout out to Serious Fun and Griffin Gaming RPG for doing all the work to put the event on. Yours truly will be there. I'm going to talk with Ender as soon as this weekend about looking at what it looks like to get him out there. Either way, we're hoping to see you out there. For those of you buying tickets, make sure you do that as soon as you can. For the month of May, the tickets are discounted, and you'll want to get in on that. Putting the link down in chat. Urgent Hush just donated $25. Thank you very much, Urgent. Appreciate that. Coming in with
thank
the
you,
big
Agent.
donation. So, okay, so yes, make sure you get your donations in, everyone. We really appreciate it. We're going to leave those links up, the link up at the pin to the top of the YouTube chat, and again, we'll replace that with another link for the custom fleet viewer livery contest in just a little bit here. Okay.
Just wanted to go ahead and go on record and say that if we do hit $20,000 by the end of this campaign, I will wax my legs.
mm, mm, mm. And there's nothing I want to see and experience more than that. So.
Grim is going to wax his legs too.
But see, that's the funny thing. We had to move the goalpost to 20,000 because everyone has just been so incredibly generous that it's been humbling. So
it's been insane. I just keeping up with it. $1,000 at a time has been.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
it's been pretty
So
fast.
just like, let me just do it. I said, let's go for broke? Question mark and set it to 20,000.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even expecting to get this high. I wasn't even expecting to hit 10K and have to shave my beard, but here we are.
Here you are.
I have
And
a
I
plan
can't
for
wait
that.
to see that stream. By the way,
I
Kiri
know you.
40, livery applicable in game. If only. You have to hit up CIG for that one,
I
unfortunately.
wish.
All right, everybody. We are going to get started, though, because time's a ticking. So, obviously, the big thing to talk about tonight is Invictus launch week, now only 5 days away. That's pretty crazy. I can't believe it's only 5 days away, but we're 5 days away from Invictus, everybody. One of the biggest sales event in the Star Citizen year, right up there with, IAE and CitizenCon later in the year. But Invictus is our big military-themed event in-game. Which usually brings combat focused vehicles to the forefront. This is an event where you probably you'll probably never see the big industrial ships, the Pioneers and stuff like that, and the Orions. But this is the event where you can get your hands on military themed ships, so fighters, combat support ships, capital brawlers like the Idris and Perseus. So all the military or combat themed ships generally make an appearance here and are available for purchase. I do want to bring up a couple of visuals here, so I'm going to be popping a lot of stuff up on the screen, so bear with me. We do have the latest show floor map. If any of you have been on the 4.1.1 PTU, you will have seen this new map in the Bevic Convention Center Hall, listing out all the ships. Now, one of the big changes to this year's Invictus, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on it, Ender, is they've changed it to where there's no longer manufactured. Well, there are manufacturer days, but it's not those days where the ships on the show floor change. The ships are just constantly on the show floor, all of them, which is very different from years past. And it's, as soon as you walk into the hall, because I was in there the other day, now the ships weren't out, but the stands were. As soon as you walk into the hall, you're greeted with the Greycat MTC, the Guardian MX, and the Star Lancer TAC, as well as the Asgard, all right there in the main center room, which you can see right here. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about them bringing it all together for sort of a permanent show floor and making the manufacturer days on the schedule just more about like what CCUs are on offer and stuff?
It's an interesting choice, but it kind of makes sense. Let's kind of show off what's new and fresh the entirety of the Invictus launch week
Yeah.
and keep that at the center front or front and center.
Yeah.
And let's kind of show off all the other stuff a little bit, but let's keep everything ancillary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other items are everybody knows these CCUs. Everybody knows what they have to offer. So let's make that the background to what everybody is really wanting to see for the week.
Yeah. Like the in-game
I
stuff.
think that's smart.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think
I
that's smart.
and it also allows that, all the hard work that the CIG ship teams have put into the ships, it kind of was always silly, like, okay, you want to show off the Asgard, it's ready to go, but then it's only on the show floor for 2 days and it's gone. Well, where it's
Right.
like you kind of miss out on the new stuff visually, being able to see it, because it is, different seeing it on the web page and stuff like that. So, um,
Yeah.
this I think is different, but it's going to be pretty cool. I like that they're doing it, and also probably an easier lift for CIG internally, which we know that they're focusing on stability and stuff right now. So the least amount of stuff they have to do in regards to an event that updates daily will be better for them, I think. I've seen a couple people in chat talk about an Idris poll about whether it will release at Invictus. We'll throw a poll up very soon when we get to the Idris. We are getting there, but before we do that, we are going to talk about some of these vehicles real quick. So we're going to kind of jump right into it. And I think we should start with the one that has grabbed the most people's attention, and that is this bad boy, the Anvil Asgard. Popping up an image here that VMXEO is working on as we dial in Fleet Viewer, but I thought was a pretty nice image of the ship. Obviously, this is a Valkyrie variant, no big surprise there. We do have the internals now. This ship is essentially meant to carry bigger combat vehicles into battle. So where the Valkyrie is a person drop ship, this is a vehicle drop ship. Okay. Think of this as a mini Liberator in many ways, right? Or
Mhm.
even a kind of a mini Ironclad Assault. That's essentially what this is.
Yeah.
Um, the big question with this, and we are going to look at the model here in a second, everyone, but the big question with the Asgard for me, and I saw this debated on multiple streamers' channels even just today, is what is the price of this thing going to be? I know a lot of people think, excuse me, that this is going to come in more expensive than the Valkyrie, but I really don't think so. I think this is actually going to be cheaper than the Valkyrie. Um,
Mhm.
my thinking there is this: the Valkyrie is already a pretty expensive ship, right? And with that expensive ship moniker, I think you only have to CCU a little bit further up. It's like $20 or something, and you hit C2 Hercules. You can get the C2 Hercules, which can carry a lot more than the Asgard. This is a pretty
Right.
bare bones ship as it is as well. So for me, this will actually be cheaper than the Valkyrie. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You can see in the video here too the internal tour. Again, it's it's kind of a bare bones ship, to be quite honest with you. I think it's a low crew count. I think there's only a few beds in it, if I remember correctly. So it's supposed to have a pretty small crew. There isn't a lot of superfluous stuff in the ship either. There's kind of component area. There's some engineering areas. There's the bridge, and then there's a big cargo area. Again, going back, it's very similar to me to like the Ironclad, right? Where a lot of the
Mhm.
ship is actually taken up by the big garage. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I know people have been back and forth on the cost of this ship. I think it's going to be cheaper than a Valkyrie, which I think would be a good thing because the Valkyrie is just overpriced as hell, in my opinion, and always has been. Um, so we'll see. I mean, I don't know what you think, Ender, but maybe chat can help us out. What is the current price of the Valkyrie War Bond? Maybe chat can help us out with that. I do like the interior, by the way. I think it's really cool. I could see this being a very useful ship, but it's all going to come down to price on this one. It is, and it's going to come down to price and the utility of it. So, for example, if the garage area is also a cargo grid that you can put a bunch of cargo in, that will be helpful. I think this thing can carry what 180 SCU.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I mean, that's a pretty good amount. I think this could make for a good daily driver. it's going to all come down to price. So people are saying 375 non-war bond. So $375 credit. I don't know what the war bond price is, but let's say it's 340, 350, something like that. 350 war bond people are saying. So where do we think the Asgard's going to come? Ender, any thoughts on that?
I'm with you. I think it's going to come in cheaper than the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
I don't see it being more expensive. It's bare bones. It's not going to be more expensive. I just don't see it being that way.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Personally.
There's not like a lot of new here. They added a gun rack and took out the drop seats, but it kind of is what it is, you know. It's a flying
Yeah, and
garage.
it's not carrying people. It doesn't do any kind of repair and refit that we know of.
No.
It's just carrying the ship in, and it's made to carry it out.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing though. I don't think it will be drastically under the Valkyrie, but I just think
Yeah,
with the dropship, yeah, with the
325
dropship,
to 350.
yeah, exactly, something like that. I just think with the dropship premium that we see constantly on ships like the Prowler and the Valkyrie and stuff, I can't see this being higher than that. I just really can't. It does have an interesting armament. It's got a lot of guns that the pilot can fire. You can see them there. It's a total of 6 guns that the pilot can fire, which is pretty crazy. It's got this big missile launcher turret on the top that you can see in this video. So again, there you go. It's firing the missiles.
Oh
Go ahead.
boy, yeah, that looks good. Do you have the ILW 4955 map that you were showing?
Yes, I do.
Share that with me.
I do. Yes. Let me grab that. Where did it go? It is right here. Let me drop it in there. So yeah, the Asgard. I mean, again, I think it's an interesting ship. There were some paints shown for it. I'll pull those up so everyone can see. Here's some paints that are going to be available for it. VMXEO says the Asgard ship design reminds me of the Chieftain from Elite Dangerous. I need to look that ship up, but yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Um, let's see here. Excuse says you can't stop streaming till I raid you. Oh, okay. FYI, I can't hear you, brother. Okay, got you. Can't hear me. But here, anyways, here's some of the colors. I love this one here. Again, I think these make the ship look a lot more aggressive than the white. So again, I love the ship design here. I think the Asgard is a really cool design. I just don't know because see, I own an ironclad. So I just don't know what the benefit to this ship would be, or what the benefit would be to this ship when I own an ironclad for purely moving ships. You know what I mean?
Um, I think that on a purely moving ships basis,
Yeah,
there's not one.
yeah,
But if you're only looking at it as a ship mover, that's what it is.
yeah.
I do think that this will have something up on the ironclad because the ironclad, I don't see it as a drop ship
Oh,
for
sorry, they're
ships.
saying they can't hear you because I actually had the volume down. Apologies, Ender. Apologies. Say that
Dude,
again.
turn me down.
Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Uh, I was saying no, it's good. I was saying if you're looking at this as strictly a ship, right, to move ships,
Yeah,
then yeah, that's what you've got. But if you're looking at this as a drop ship, a combat drop ship for vehicles, and the ironclad as a drop ship for vehicles, I think this one will have a leg up because it's going to get down faster and it's going to get up faster. It's lighter than the ironclad. It's going to get out of combat faster. It's going to be able to move faster. So I think this has that leg up in that way.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think it's going to be able to move faster.
That's true. I mean,
So,
like again, it is the smaller ship. It's going to be more agile. You're going to be able
mhm,
to get in bigger places, smaller places and stuff.
right. Will it be able to carry more? No,
No,
hell no.
no.
But
It
it's
come
gonna be doing less. The Ironclad's made to do the repair and re-outfit and all of that. This is just to pick it up and drop it off, and if it can't pick it up, well, oh well, it doesn't need to go back.
Well, I always kind of judge it based off like that whole adage that the info runners always talk about, which is earning down, right? So that's sort of how I look at it sometimes. Is like if I'm going to be earning down, then I would probably stick with the bigger ship and then earn down to this one. just because I think that'll be interesting. Um, I will say, everyone, I'll bring it up real quick here. If you bear with me, I'm going to bring up the model real quick in 3D. We'll take a look at it. Let me just grab that. Bear with me. Okay, there we go. Let me switch over to that screen. There we go. There is the Asgard model. This is just a grayscale, obviously, and it is missing turrets. So just a heads up on that. It is missing the turrets, the top turret, obviously, as well as the gun ports, the chin turret, and all that. That stuff is missing. There's a big turret here, man turret. There's a chin turret. There's these. There's
Mhm.
turrets and this and these little pieces here. Those are just missing because of the export, as well as some of the exterior doors. Again, they're working on all that out. But you can see here the interior of the Asgard. It's got the extra high roof, again, accommodating things like the Nova, like the Ballista. For those that were curious, yes, it can carry both of those vehicles. I can actually really quickly here bring up a Ballista so that you can see that. Um, Again, this will be kind of quick and dirty, but if I grab this ballista, and this is all to scale, by the way, this is 100% to scale. Here's a ballista. If I bring the ballista up to where the wheels just hit the floor of this, right there, and then we back it up to about here where that door is going to close. You can see there's ample room up top there for the top of the ballista, and we have ample room for the vehicle to drive up in, and it doesn't hit the wall. So again, this will fit. This will be able to carry a ballista or even a Nova tank. Okay, you can kind of see through this side door here. You can see the front of the ballista. You got plenty of room before it hits the wall. Um, it says here 90s. Will it hit the roof when you drive aboard? No, I don't think so, because the roof immediately tilts upward up here. It's a little hard to see in the grayscale model, but I don't think so. It's also got a pretty subtle ramp up. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, there you go, everyone. XQ says, please make it so I can redirect to you on YouTube. I'm not even sure how to do that. Sorry, XQ. Let's see. I'll say I don't know how to do that, mate. Anyway, so there it is. A couple of the additions. I'm not super curious. I'm not super familiar. Sorry, with the Valkyrie, so I'm not sure how they do the rear landing pads. I thought these were changed, but maybe they're the same. But those are the landing gears right there. You can see. But again, it can carry a lot here. It can easily fit a Nova. I did test the Nova. Now it can only sort of carry one thing at a time. There's really not a lot of room to carry more than that. But if you need to get a big video, or sorry, big video, I can't talk tonight. If you want to get a big vehicle down to the planetary surface, then this would definitely do it. So there's nothing that this can't carry. It just can carry only one, versus something like a C2 Hercules or an M2 that could probably carry two of those things. Okay, so that would be your natural progression, right? Is going from would be going from an Asgard to something like the Hercules, and then possibly the Ironclad, or maybe the Hercules and Ironclad kind of sit together, but you'd be going from Asgard to Hercules Ironclad's territory, and then on upwards to something like a Kraken or something that has like the
Mhm.
big freight elevators and stuff. Um, so that there we go. Gives you a little bit of an idea what the ship looks like from the top down. You can see it's got kind of the six-wing design. Engines mounted on the side wings. This was all exactly how I mocked it up. If any of you remember a stream I did the other day where I did a quick kit bash based off the teaser trailer, this is almost exactly what we kit bashed. So just goes to show you. Um, when thinking about CIG and how they design ships sometimes, I think they're all for doing, really crazy new stuff sometimes, but when it comes to variants, I found that it's best not to overthink them and think of them again as is whether this was or not, think of them as an onboarding task and sort of look at what the low hanging fruit is. Now, I think this one did have some pretty robust changes to it, of course, from the Valkyrie, but again, still borrowing pretty heavily. Um, so, anyways, that is the Valkyrie. It can carry a ballista. It can carry a Nova tank. Okay. So if that's what you were hoping it could do, it can do that. And I think it's going to have low crew requirements as well. So,
Yep.
um, all right. That is the that is the Asgard. I keep calling, that's the other thing. I keep calling this ship the Valkyrie. That is the Asgard. I have heard of a lot of people are kind of a little upset. They wanted the Valkyrie to essentially be what the Asgard is, but you know what? You have that ability. You always have the ability to melt the your Valkyrie if needed, and pick up the Asgard if you want. It's an interesting ship. I think honestly, with the events going on in game right now, like A Line in Mine, the whole Hathor area, and a lot of the FPS stuff going on in game right now, I mean, it makes sense. The ship makes sense in the game currently. So,
Yep. I
yeah,
agree. I
yeah.
agree wholeheartedly.
Another thing this ship will be very good at, now this requires us to think far into the future, obviously. But another thing I think this ship will be very good at is when we get to that future where we do have space stations, org space stations, and we need to ferry vehicles from the space station to the ground or from the ground base to the station. You know what I mean? And those in
Mhm.
those situations, um, I can see an Asgard being super useful, right? Um,
Sure.
but anyways, yeah, it's an interesting. Again, these are onboarding ships. The thing you got to remember is CIG is currently working on a lot of big ships right now. Pioneer, which we just got an update on. Ironclad, they've been working on the Star Lancer. Okay, there's been a lot of big ships being worked on, so that means a lot of the other ships that are going to come out are going to be there's going to be a lot of onboarding ships. There's going to be a lot of variants and stuff like that to sort of keep the ship pipeline pumping stuff out while they work on those big monsters that are obviously going to take a long time. Um, so execute. I do not, if you can't hear me, I can't, I don't know how to do that. I do not know how to do that. I do not know how to change the permissions to do that. I've never done that on YouTube before. Sorry, sorry, sorry. But anyways, that is the Asgard. So let's move on to the next ship here. Let me bring up the next one. I think this one will interest a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people talking about it and being very interested in it. We're going to talk about the Guardian MX. Um, so we found out more about
Okay.
this. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to send you some.
Okay. If it requires any like deep technical stuff, I won't be able to do
It
it.
doesn't.
Okay. Let's see here. Bear with me, everybody. Uh, Stand by. I have to get that up.
Yep.
Bear with me, everybody.
Anyway.
Ender, you talk for a minute.
Yep. I'm going to talk about St. Jude for just a few minutes, guys. So we are currently sitting at $15,495, guys. The community has been absolutely insane this St. Jude season, and we absolutely appreciate everything you guys have been doing and are currently doing for St. Jude. And another, well, $4,505, if my math is right. I think it is. I will be waxing my legs, so that's gonna be fun.
I like it.
I'm already waxing my armpits, shaving my beard, getting my makeup done, putting a bunch of junk in my stomach. What else? Getting a tattoo, which is actually the one I'm proud of. What else? There's other stuff that I'm doing, and I can't even remember what it is. It's bad. But yeah, and then Guardian has asked if there's a way that we can make it so that we don't do it. And yeah, you know what? If we hit 40K lifetime, I will not shave my beard.
Mm,
If
I
we
like
hit
it.
$40,000 lifetime, I will not shave
I
my beard.
I like it a lot, actually.
I'll still wax my armpits. Scissor Fuzz, I am getting a tattoo. Yes, so I'll be getting a St. Jude logo with a pink hat. And then for every $25,000 that we raise after that, I will be getting a heart drawn by my children.
Ah,
Um, I will be getting a heart. And then after that, after I get 2 hearts, 1 for each child that my children draw, every $25,000 after that, I will get a piece of St. Jude art from one of the children of St. Jude. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. By the way, this is going to take a second.
You're good, you're good. Wait, does the Asgard not have any beds in it? I don't think so, Draco. I
It
don't think
does.
it
It
really
has a it has
needs
a couple. It
it
has a
it
couple.
does. It has a couple beds. There
It
you
has
go,
a
couple
couple.
beds.
Yeah.
No SC tattoo, no bluesy, no SC tattoo. Oh, it's a St. Jude tattoo. No Star Citizen tattoo. Sorry. A single bunk bed and 2 mattresses. Actually, it's a single bunk bed and 1 mattress, and you have to share. When the mattress switches between the 2.
Okay, I think I've got it set. Execute. I think I've got it set.
Let me let him know. Oh, I just
Thank you. At least I think that works. Sorry about that, everybody. We're just
Sorry,
getting
guys.
something set up. Getting something set up. All righty. We're back to it now. We're back to it. Thank you, Execute. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, let's talk about this next ship here.
Let's do it.
We're talking about the Guardian MX, essentially an upgunned variant of the Guardian. No big surprises there, although, again, we did think it was going to be, we essentially thought it was going to be some big sort of like torpedo boat or something. That is not what it's turned out to be. But it is kind of a missile. But it's really very much like the Fury MX. So there's not a lot. There's not a huge difference there in terms of what in terms of what the Fury is, just translated to the Guardian. So it carries a lot of missiles. I think it carries 24 size. Well, actually, let's bring up our ship information here. So apparently this ship can carry, well, that's actually the wrong thing. Bear with me. The ship can carry 24 size 2 missiles and has 4 size 4 pilot weapons, so quite a bit of forward pilot controlled firepower. Tell Execute I saved it. I don't know why it's not, unless you can't save it during a stream, but I did everything I could do for now. But again,
Yep, that was yep.
Guardian MX, I've had some questions about, does this ship have a bed in it? I can tell you that the ship does not have a bed. I have checked the interior. The ship, a lot of people were asking too if the ship had the quantum dampener. It does not. I can confirm that as well. And again, we'll bring that model up just like we did the Asgard here. So I will get that pulled up. Bear with me. All right, let me bring up the Guardian. I really like the screen. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but when the windshield turns on, or the canopy glass, it's like a screen that turns on. You'll see that here.
Ooh.
I love that. That's so cool. That actually is really slick. I dig that. I dig that a lot. Again, I think one reason people will probably like this ship is it doesn't do what the other Guardian does, which is where the dashboard is up top. I know that was sometimes a little divisive for people, so this one does it where it's a little bit more of a standard dashboard. So I don't know. What do you think of the Guardian series, Ender?
I don't see the point of this. I'll be honest with you. I think this is dumb. This is just a choice that I don't see the need for. This is one of the ones that I'm going, why? We have the Guardian. What is this?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest issue with this one is it's just going to kill the Guardian. Now the Guardian is a little more agile, but this one's so much more
everything else
better outfitted that I think you'd give up a little bit of that agility. And then, as I was saying the other day, with the tier system, when crafting comes along, where you can upgrade ships and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I feel like you're going to be able to compensate for that lack of agility and stuff, and it's still going to be ultimately the better ship. Oh, cool! The canopy does open. You can see that there, everybody. The
Yep.
canopy does
Canopy
open. That's pretty
opens.
cool. Yeah,
I
that is
just
pretty cool.
this isn't something that I'm thinking to myself, yes, I need this and the Guardian. It makes sense to have them both in the verse. It makes sense to have all of this together. This is all necessary.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think they went, you know what? I think this is what we should do. Um,
No dampener on the
and
back, by the way, everybody.
yeah, no dampener on the back. I think they said, you know what? We should do this. This would be pretty cool. And they went, oh well, we already got it out, and
Yeah,
they
and
went,
by
well, we'll put another one out,
yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah,
and they shouldn't have. They should
yeah.
have.
Well, or again, it's just a weird upgunned version of the Guardian. I think it should have brought something maybe a little different to the table. I mean, yeah, it has a lot of missiles and stuff, but I almost wonder now if our original sort of theory crafting for this is being some sort of big torpedo, um, uh, uh, combat ship where maybe it carried four size 8 or size 10 torpedoes or something would have been kind of interesting. It'd have been
It would
different
have made more sense.
and it'd have been niche, but I still think it would have had something a little unique to it. So I'm not sure. Not sure how I feel about the MX. I think it looks really cool. And I know a lot of people like the Guardian series, and I think it'll sell very well. I think a lot of people that own their current Guardians are definitely going to upgrade to the MX. I can't see many people hanging on to their regular Guardians personally, unless I'm wrong. I don't
Me
know,
either.
chat. What do you all think? Not sure what people think about that, but they do have a host of really cool paints for it, though. I'll bring those over so everyone can see. Here we go. Again, a lot of the usual kind of stuff here, but there are some really cool paints on the Guardian. It is weird to me that some of these paints are almost seem like racing inspired. If this is a combat ship, again, I don't. I've said this before. I don't totally get the Mirai focus on combat. It should have been focused on racing and luxury, sort of like how Ferrari is, where it's racing or
Yep.
luxury. I don't get the racing and combat connection personally. Maybe people in chat will say I'm wrong, but I don't. I really don't get the. I don't get that Mirai does racing and combat. To me, they're two very
It
different
should.
worlds.
Yeah. It should focus on one or the other. It
I
should be
mean,
racing or it shouldn't.
combat systems heavily focus on reliability and durability, and racing systems are usually very fragile, highly tuned, specialist sort of setups, whether it's cars or airplanes or whatever. And they usually have very small thresholds and tolerances and all that stuff. Not like a combat vehicle, which needs to be durable and reliable and able to stand up to stuff. So again,
Yeah.
it's strange to me. The Mirai thing has never truly made sense, to be quite honest with you,
Nope.
with combat and racing. For me personally, I'm not sure, chat, how you feel about it. Um, Lieutenant Draco says racing is about pushing technology. Military is about tested and true. Yeah, I mean, I agree to that. And look, there's situations where combat aerospace, what is playing in the background? I think it's this video, where aerospace combat or combat aerospace or defense aerospace companies like Lockheed or something will build a fighter jet, but they don't then turn around and build a racing version of that fighter jet. You know what I mean?
No.
It just doesn't
No.
happen. It's two different worlds. It really is.
I watched the F-35 take off and land, and I controlled that stupid aircraft so many times in my time as an air traffic controller. I'll never watch that thing race. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And if I do, I'm gonna wonder why,
yeah,
because they spent
it,
billions to make that thing an air superiority fighter.
yeah.
So why is it now racing?
Right, exactly.
You
It just
know,
doesn't make any sense. But you can see the correlation between racing and luxury, though, because you see that with stuff like Ferrari,
absolutely.
right? Ferrari's heavily involved in racing,
Luxury is
but their
yep.
vehicles are luxury, right?
luxury is about those smooth lines, the beauty, the aerodynamics.
Yeah.
Uh, Racing is about the aerodynamics, the lightweight, and a lot of times they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I just don't see the need for racing and combat to ever go hand in hand. It never made sense to me for racing vehicles to have weapons on them,
Yeah.
and it still doesn't make sense for them to have weapons on them. If
Yeah.
you're going to race, don't have a weapon. But who
Yeah.
knows?
Grim on YouTube, great name by the way, says I work directly in aerospace and can confirm you are correct. Yeah, again, again, my both of my parents worked in aerospace for all my life, and again, it's just I do not see the correlation at all. I get CIG was just trying to make a company or a sub company of MISC that to sort of separate out everything from MISC, which I think is supposed to be more utilitarian industrial, but again, it still doesn't really make sense. If anything, your industrial ship should have been a sub brand because industrial is usually focused on or racing is focused on, but racing and combat together again does not make sense to me. So
Cody Cody says something that
yeah,
maybe is correct. I'll have an argument point against that, but he says I think that the interweave. I think it's the interweave in CR.
yeah,
Mariah is positioned as the Japanese outfit, and I think anime weebs conflate racing and combat.
hmm,
The problem is, I don't think that racing and combat go hand in hand for most weebs. I think that um, people who don't really deal with anime a lot, maybe it does, but a lot of us that like anime don't put the two hand in hand. I don't
right,
put racing and combat together ever
yeah.
because I've never seen a racing
Well, says
anime that has combat. So,
yeah, Scissor Fuzz says it as well. Ferrari, Mercedes, BMW, all luxury brands and also racing
yep,
brands. So
yep,
um, again, what would have been interesting about that too is that Misk doesn't really have luxury under their banner. They don't really do luxury ships, as far as I
they don't
know.
have.
So for Mirai to do luxury ships would have been really cool because we would have been able to see, oh, okay, that is what Misk's take on an origin ship would have been, right?
Exactly.
And I think that would have just been a lot more interesting, a lot more interesting. So I don't know. I'm not on CIG's branding, in-game ship branding team. However, whoever makes those decisions, but it is a decision, and we have to respect it. So there we go.
Yeah,
Mirai
yeah.
Guardian MX. So again, that one coming very soon. I think we're going to get download on that one next week, um, along with some of the other new vehicles. Now, let's move on to. So we talked about the Asgard, we talked about the Guardian MX. Now let's talk about the next one, which is this little guy, the Gray Cat MTC. It should play here in just a second. There it is, the Mobile Tactical Center. Now I'm going to go ahead and take full credit on this one. I called it for sure.
Yep.
It is a mobile armory through and through. Very clear. You'll see. I love the exterior design of it, by the way. Um, but yes, it is a mobile armory. You'll walk in here in a second. There's got gun racks. It's got storage. It's got some exterior gun racks here, I believe. At least I think that's what this is. And then it's got room
Oh
for
yeah.
2 suit lockers. Um, Ender, I'm not exactly sure what you think of this ship, but I'll give you my download on it first. I get the idea behind a mobile armory. It made the most sense to me. But here's my issue with it. A mobile armory only makes sense to me because you're going to go through the trouble of getting this thing onto the planetary surface, right? It only makes sense to me to be a mobile armory for quite a big group, 5 to 10,
Thank
maybe 15
you.
people, right? Oops, do we just have Rooster Rage donating another $10? Thank you very much, Rooster. Salute to you, buddy. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Rooster.
But it only makes sense to me that you would want a mobile armory that is very much an armory. It can outfit a small platoon or group or fire team or whatever. This is really made to outfit 2 people. You know what I mean? Because it's got 2 suit lockers and whatnot. And so I don't know. I feel like this is a weird size. Like I feel like if you were going to do a mobile armory, it would be much better suited for something of like ballista size, right? Where 4 or 5 people in a fire team can go on board, get fully outfitted, all that stuff. This just
You're
seems a little.
thinking the wrong thing.
Go ahead.
That's the problem. You're thinking about this as a fire team. You're thinking the
Yeah,
wrong thing.
yeah.
I'll tell you what this is for, and it pisses me off so very much. Um, this is a companion piece. This
Thank
is
you, Dana.
exactly what I was saying the other day.
Mhm.
I'm so mad. Uh, this is thank you, execute for the raid.
Oh, well,
Um,
thank you, Execute.
this is a companion piece to the Nursa.
Mhm.
And it is a companion piece in the sense that it will be there for us to literally hit the hammer on the head until we get the job done. So it's only there to outfit us. It's one person.
Yeah,
So you only need 2 suit lockers because you're only going to be grabbing 1 suit at a time and you're going to be grabbing your other one, right?
yeah,
So chances are decent that you're only needing maybe an undersuit or 2. Um,
right.
yeah, Big Go saying it right. If you've been rearmed, you've been down and need a respawn and just load your Dursa with extra gear. You're literally just grabbing the extra stuff here.
Yeah,
Um, this isn't your mobile armory for loading up and getting everybody. Um, yeah, don't tell them where execute rated. I'm sure it wasn't here because it wasn't.
no raid came in, but that is okay. Well,
It's all right.
it
But it just doesn't feel like this is made for large groups.
well, here's the thing.
Feels like go ahead.
Well, I mean, here's the thing to me. It's like this thing has to be taken down to the planetary surface, and generally,
Mhm,
most ships have it. A lot of ships have at least 2 suit lockers on it. At least that would be big enough to carry
mhm,
this thing down anyway, or enough storage to carry that on board the ship. So to me, this
mhm.
only really makes sense if it's being dropped off by like an Asgard with people in it and they're going to be on the planetary surface alone. But if
Sure.
you're flying with just your buddy and you're taking like a Cutlass Black or something down to Hathor or whatever, the Cutlass Black, you land right outside the combat zone, and then that ends up being your mobile armory to fall back on to rearm. Um,
Yeah.
Again, if this thing was, here's the thing, what we don't know about this, or at least I don't totally know about this. Let me go to the vehicle information thing on this because let me go to the loadouts on it. So this may answer my question. So the Grey Cat MTC, it has one size 0 shield generator. So this is where I was going to go with this. To me, this would make a lot of sense if you were taking it into the nitty gritty combat zones where it's going to get pummeled. So it would have maybe an extra size, like maybe if it had 2 size 0 shield generators, and that it was essentially your small APC, not in terms of the amount of people it can carry, but in terms of it just being a little armored, a little bit safer. You bring it to the combat zone, you can rearm from there, even if it's just you and a friend. But that's not what this is
Right.
either. Bandana just donated $100, everybody.
Thank you,
$100. Thank
Bandana.
you very much,
Thank
Bandana.
you
We
so much.
appreciate that. What did he donate towards? Let's call it out here.
Red wagon.
RSI Polaris and a red wagon for St. Jude. Thank you very much, Bandana. Salute to you. It's nice to see these donations coming in, everybody. We are at $15,605. We are now, I'm just going to point out, I felt like we were just saying this the other day, but we are now only $52 away from $32,000 lifetime raise. $52 a raise away from it.
Crazy.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Bandana. All right, everyone. Let's so the MTC, yeah, it is the LTI of the
It,
Invictus launch
this
week this
is a
year.
weird one for me.
Yeah,
It's a
and
weird one. I don't know why.
yeah. Here's the thing. I love the look of it. I think if
Mhm.
the idea was for it to just be an alternate to the Ursa, that's
Yeah.
fine. But I think even then, I would be more interested in the other variants for this. So, for example, if they were going to do a medical variant or a whatever variant, some like let's say there's a variant that has like AA launchers or something. I think I'd almost be more interested in that than the mobile armory thing. I just again don't totally see the need for it. When in the future too, we have big bases. I don't even see it being the best combat patrol vehicle because you're at your base, so you can always fall back to the base to rearm. Um,
Exactly.
a mobile armory to me is again, you are going to a place where you do not have things that you need, meaning backup armors, backup weapons, all that stuff. Now, let me
Thank
ask you
you.
this. Scissor Fuzz just donated $50 to help unlock art supplies for St. Jude. Scissor Fuzz, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. We are now,
Hello.
I want to point out, Ender, we are at, let's see, what are we at? We are at
$32,098.
$32,098. $98. Incredible.
So
Um,
crazy.
yeah, it's amazing. So to me, it's just Wuxtree, hello, hope you're well. To me, it just becomes one of those things that's like, where is this useful at in the future? And I just because I actually when I look at all these ships, I don't look at them as like, is it useful now? I look at it, is it useful in 1.0? When we're building the Starjump ground base, is this going to be useful for industrial operations or security around the base or any other thing? And I just personally do not see it.
I don't see it being that way.
Yeah.
No.
But we'll see. I mean, maybe there's something I do not know. Scissor Fuzz says you could drive around an org base with it. That is true. It'd be good for that. It'd be good for that. Um, but yeah, there is the Grey Cat MTC, everybody. Fun little vehicle. I am going to bring up, well, we just saw the interiors here, but I was going to bring up this one image. Bring it over. There are a few paints on offer for Invictus for it right here. You can see them. Again, cool little vehicle. I like the design of it. I'm just not sure about the usage of it. One thing I do think is interesting, Gasoline, thank you for that follow. One thing I do think is interesting about it is really the first combat, I guess I call it a combat support vehicle by Grey Cat that we've ever received, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, again, haven't
Yeah.
seen anything like
That's
that.
true.
Yeah. Um, but there it is, Grey Cat MTC. How about you, Chad? Interested in the Grey Cat MTC? Who's picking one up? I imagine a lot of people pick it up just as an LTI token, though. So, um, all right. Last but certainly not least, we are moving to the next ship on the list, and that is the Starlancer TAC. It is a very cool looking ship. I know a lot of people are planning on moving from the Max to the TAC. This is another one that it's got things I really like and things that semi kill it for me, right? Um, Ender, I don't know how much you've been looking into it, but I have done some messing around with the TAC, and the biggest issue right off the bat is the hanger. For me, this is for me, everyone. The hanger can only carry a Fury. On stream the other day, we tested a bunch of other vehicles going into the hangar, and I can tell you right now, nothing fits but the Fury. That's it. There's no middle ground. You can't shoehorn an Argo MPUV in there or anything like that. It is the Fury or nothing. Okay, so again, I don't know. I don't know how important that is to people, but it is a thing. So, yeah, Ender, any thoughts on the Starlancer TAC?
I mean, I've always liked the Star Lancer. The TAC is a good looking ship, but if the only thing I can carry with it is a Fury, I'm good.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't like the Fury enough to carry it inside a bigger ship. It's just not worth it. It just really isn't.
Um, Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people do like the Fury, so it will be a popular ship for them, no
Sure.
doubt. Again, I do think this thing will sell really well, just for its ability to carry the Fury. But again, it's going to be interesting to see who all that applies to. For me personally, I would have loved if they made the hangar just a tad bigger. By making the hangar
Mhm.
just a tad bigger, you really could have fit a host of other vehicles in there. I was going to see if I could easily bring up the hanger, which I might be able to in just a second here, folks. But essentially, it's too limiting in terms of what it can carry, and that is um, it kind of kills the hanger component for me completely. Now, if you're saying, well, the hanger's not while I want it, well, then I look at the other issue it has, which is the turrets, right? Those big dual size 5, which, let's be honest, is a big reason why you would buy this ship. Now, for some people, if you're flying with friends, that is going to be a big deal, to have those big size 5 turrets. But again, they're not pilot controlled. You need someone to man them, right? Um, the big benefit of the ship, however, is the medical bay. So when I think of this ship and I'm like, okay, I want to own this ship, I go, the reason I would upgrade from the Max to this is because of the medical bay, right? It brings so much utility. Yes, you're giving up some of that central spine storage area, but you still have the big back area open, and a lot of people could see that as a worthwhile sacrifice. But again, there's other places. A lot of people say that the habitation area on the Max is wasted. I sort of think the hangar here is wasted. Um, I don't know. I mean, the Starlancer TAC is also $330 war bond, although a flight ready price might go up a bit. Um, I don't know where it sits. Chat, what do you all think? How many of you own Maxes that you're planning on upgrading to this? And I'm going to bring something up here real quick so everyone can see. Let me switch over to my main window here. Where is, bear with me. We're going to switch over to the main screen. You can see here there's a Starlancer TAC. When we look at how big that hangar is, though, again, it is about, there's really not a lot of room to mess around here, folks. It's big enough for a Fury, as you can see. Some people have suggested that you could fit 2 Furies in here. You probably can, but I can tell you right now, it's probably still going to be tight. I will show you one thing real quick here that we were messing around with. Let me move this hangar volume down. So even if you were able to fit a Fury down in here, right? Let's say you moved it down and moved it over, you squeezed it in, and you put another Fury in here, you were able to squeeze it in. I mean, oh my God, the tolerances are so little here. You really have no room for mistake. If you had to deploy a Fury quickly, oh my God, it'd be a mess. So I don't know. I just don't know how useful it will be. We did try some stuff. For example, Luke Turner in chat says, I will fit a Razor one way or another. We actually tried that, Luke, and I can show you right now what that looks like if you want. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, good luck. Because I don't think it's happening, right? So let me show you. Well, here is the MISC Razor. We'll grab it, and we will go over to the Starlancer TAC. And by the way, if it sounds like I'm being a little negative on the ships, I'm actually not. I think they're really interesting. There's some great options for people in here. They're just, you really have to know what you're buying, right? And these ships do have some limitations. So there is the MISC Razor. Quite a bit too long for the hangar. Now you could fit it in the back, yes, but it's definitely too big for the hangar. Again, sometimes people forget how small that Fury is. But there we go. Starlancer TAC, though, I think people are interested in it. I do think it's going to sell well. I don't think CIG is worried about that, but I know you've said it a bunch in the past, Ender, but for me, it's all about the build when it comes to the Starlancer series. The build is the one I'm interested in. It's got the most future utility and gameplay for me, at the very least. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm going to now pull up everyone. The next ship to discuss, we got a couple of them. That is, I know what you're all thinking. What does it begin with? I know chat knows what it is. You know what we're going to talk about. It begins with, let me get to it.
Pole.
Where is
It
it?
begins with a pole.
Did I lose it? I may have lost it.
It starts with the pole.
It's this one. The ATLS IKTI, I believe, is what it's called. This looks to be, and I guess I lost my pictures of it. Sorry about it, but that is the armed Atlas variant that we've heard a little bit about. It showed up at Wickelow's place, possibly able to earn in game. If it's earnable at Wickelow's, I have no doubt this thing will be purchasable. But essentially, an Atlas suit that is armed. If they sell this, it will sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
100%. This thing will print money for CIG. It'll absolutely print money. And if you're asking me, should they sell it? Of course, they should sell it. They're going to sell it. They should sell it if it makes the project money, and people have fun with it. I'm all for it because, again, the project does
Hmm.
need as much money as it can get to get this damn game developed. So it seems like an easy win. I had someone ask the other day if it is earnable through Wicklow, do I think they're going to be selling it as well? 100%. There's no way they leave this just on like, there's no way they leave this on the table and don't make any money off of it. I know T-Jack says it'll probably be sold by Wicklow specifically. Probably so, but you're going to be able to buy this thing in game for sure. For sure. All right, everyone.
Yeah.
I am starting something real quick. If you're over on YouTube, I am putting a link into the YouTube chat. I'm going to pin it up top. That link you can go to and you can leave a comment. It can be hi, goodbye, hello, or whatever. It is a Starjump video. You can leave a comment there. We're going to pull a random winner from that YouTube video that was left during the stream. We'll pull a random comment, and we'll take that winner. And then we're going to go. I'm going to go over to Stream Elements right now. We're going to start that giveaway. That one is now started. You can do exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max on Twitch to get in on the giveaway on Twitch. So we'll take the winner from YouTube, we'll take the winner from Twitch. We're going to put you in the wheel of names. We're going to spin it, and whoever wins will win a custom Starjump Fleet Viewer livery. You get to pick the ship, you get to pick the colors, you get to pick the logo, the name, all that good stuff. So if you've ever
Chip.
wanted your own ship in Fleet Viewer, your own custom ship, that is the way to do it, is by winning one of these contests. So there you go, everybody. Get in on that. Again, if you're on YouTube, you will leave a comment pinned on the video that's pinned to the top of chat. There's a link there to a Starjump video, so you need to leave a comment there. And you need to leave that here in the next little bit. And again, if you're on Twitch, it's exclamation ticket to get in on that. We're going to move into the next topic. And while I'm doing that, Ender will probably start maybe getting an initial list of Aegis Gladius ticket holders built up, possibly. I don't know how you want to handle that, Ender. But while you're doing that, I'm going to bring up the next ship we're going to talk about. And that is really the one that has the most controversy behind it. And that is this monster. Am I showing it? Nope, I'm not. There we go. The Aegis Idris K and the Aegis Idris P. Two variants of the Idris that have been heavily hinted over the last probably the last week or two. I know some people are not fully caught up on when people say that things have leaked out about the Idris P and the Idris K, what stuff has leaked out. Suffice it to say, on both ships, this is the first time we've ever had any mention of them in the code as it stands for Star Citizen. Generally, before that, the Idris was referred to as the Idris or the Idris M, and a lot of times it was just the Idris, so it'd be like Xenothreat Idris or what have you. All of a sudden, they delineated that and called it specifically the Idris M, and then in addition to that, the Idris P and some of the K kit stuff started being named in the files as well. Eagle0013 donating $50 to help unlock art supplies for St. Jude. Eagle, thank you very much. Salute to you. We're now at $15,705 raised. Thank you, chat. Really appreciate it. You're all legendary, absolutely legendary. So again, there's been a lot of code references. We've had references to the Hurston size 10 Exodus laser beam weapon for the front of the Idris P when you apply the K kit to it. Don't know if anyone's heard those audio sounds, but I'll play them now. I'll pull them up. They're really cool. I've got the audio turned up, I think. Let's start it over. We got another donation. What was our next donation we got? Scissor Fuzz with a $10 donation, new toy, and the Aegis Gladius Valiant. Thank you very much, Scissor Fuzz. Appreciate that. All right, everyone, we're going to play this. This is the Aegis Idris K laser beam weapon sound, which sounds really, really cool. Okay, here we go. So you can hear it is a prolonged, sustained laser beam weapon. Execute, that's okay, buddy. I don't know what was going on. Sadly, he wasn't even online. That's funny. Execute doesn't even know my name. He doesn't even know it's Starjump Graham. He rated Starship Graham. It's a different guy. It's a totally different guy.
Thank you.
Rage One donating $20 towards the Aegis Gladius Valiant. That's good, everybody. Make Ender's job harder. Appreciate that, Rage One. Big salute to you. Thank you very much. So as you see from this piece of concept imagery, this is the Idris K. I'll zoom in here. You will see Idris K here right on the hull. This is the Idris K image. There's two important things to look at here when you're looking at this.
Thank you.
Another donation coming in. We got another $10 donation from Rough Gaming. Rough Gaming, thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. Salute to you. We are now up to, actually the number went away. That's interesting. It'll pop back up. $15,745 raised, everybody. Amazing, amazing work. But two things to notice with this Idris K weapon. One is the size 10 Hurston laser beam weapon. You do know this is the laser beam weapon. Another donation from Anonymous for a new toy for St. Jude. I love all the donations, everyone. Killer. Thank you very much.
You're making my life difficult.
In all the best ways.
Now I have to figure out who you are.
But one thing you see here, people, is these very long laser beams coming out, not just the rail gun effect, but the long laser beams coming out of the guns. I personally am really excited to see that in the verse, even more so than the size 10 rail guns.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. Ango Sparrow, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. But another thing you will notice is this right here. I'm going to zoom into it. Up on the top nose section of the Idris here, you will see a missile launcher, okay? Now, that missile launcher was also found on the show floor of Invictus. They're showing it right here over by the Idris walking tour. So this turret here, if you walk over towards the Idris and you see this turret sitting there on display with the big missile launcher, that is the front missile launcher for the Idris K. You can see it right here in the concept art, but that's what it is. And while we haven't seen the Idris K Exodus laser beam, the code for it is in game, and it has even been called out in terms of its health, right? So where is that? Let me look. Stand by. Here it is. You'll see here that the oh wait, is this it? No, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Let me find it. It's I think it's this one maybe. No, I wonder if did I delete that? I hope not. I hope not. I may have. But anyways, they found the code for that. So that plus the fact that the Idris P is what is on tour at ArtCorp IO Tower, and the big hologram as when you walk into the Invictus showroom is the Idris P, which kind of doesn't make sense because it's the Peacekeeper variant. The Idris M is usually what they show during the military themed events. We just had what do we have? We just had someone gifted some tier subs here. Rage One just donated 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you very much, Rage One. Appreciate you. Salute. Thank you for that support, Rage One. Just showing out tonight. I really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you for that. So yeah, it just goes back to that thing. It's like they're heavily hinting towards the Idris P. The Idris P has never been shown at Invictus at all. It's not technically. Kiri says Idris P is still a military ship, just not the same mission. Well, so from what I read, and if you have different documentation on this, Kiri, I'd love to see it because I'm not doubting you. But from what I read, the Idris Ps were all sold off by the military as surplus to the civilian market, and that's kind of the whole point of them. So again, from my understanding, the Idris Ps are not the military, are not in like the UEE control now. They have been sold off via the what do you call it? The Militia Mobilization Act, and those are where the Idris Ps went. I think there's even an exact number of them that in lore they sold. So that was my understanding. It still doesn't really make sense, regardless. If you're going to show the Idris at Invictus, why would you show the P variant and not the M variant? So
Mhm.
that fact, and then the other weird little thing, which is the in the do I have an image of that? I think I do. Yes, I do. This month's subscriber flare is an Idris P T-shirt. Again, very odd. In addition to that, they actually had some redirect stuff with the website that showed that if you typed in like an Idris P store page, much like you would for the Asgard or the Guardian or anything like that. There's an Idris P like store page, but it's currently turned off and is redirecting. So again, if the Idris P and the Idris K are not coming to backers, okay, if it's not coming to backers, then like I said the other day, this is the most epic troll by CIG of all time on the community. and, and there's no way there's not backlash for it. There's no way there's not backlash for it. So yeah. Anyway, see here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the javelin that was decommissioned slash used component strip of the Idris P as a peacekeeper variant. Yeah. So I mean I know that there's other. Yes, the F-7C is non-military, but it's still a military ship. Yes, it's non-military, but the UEE flies the F7 or sorry the F7A, and they fly the F8A now. I think in lore, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, chat. I could be wrong. I thought they were A variants in the military, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have the lore wrong.
Right.
What I do
No,
know is
they
that the
fly
piece.
the A variant.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Either way, some other interesting changes coming along. If you go to where the Idris tour is going on, you'll see this as well. This is a new type of PDC turret. You know, we have our point defense cannons on ships now, like the Polaris and stuff like that, and undoubtedly will be on the Idris and the Javelin and Kraken and stuff like that. We have a new type that is coming. It's called the Pepper Box. It's made by Bearing. It is a point defense cannon in terms of its classification, and it fires 16 size 1 missiles. Essentially, it's meant to disrupt and incoming missile and torpedo fire. I really love that they're bringing some options to PDCs, so you'll be able to outfit those in different ways. I would love to even see some additional PDCs that can do other things, such as throw out, dispersion and countermeasures and stuff like that, like additional countermeasures. I think just a lot more flexibility there would be nice. It'll be interesting to see if you can outfit some PDCs like some point defense cannons and some of these pepper boxes on the same ship, or does it have to be one or the other? Again, we don't totally know, but it'll be interesting to see. Um, Ender, I
Mhm.
know we talked a while back about the Idris P, and you said probably you didn't think it'd be coming. Where, with all that we know now, what do you think? Has your thinking changed on this at all?
No, I still don't think it'll be coming.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, if it does, it does, but I just don't see it coming
yeah.
personally.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I think that's the right way to go into it, anyways, right? Because it to go into things cautious is always probably the best bet, because you
Mhm.
won't be disappointed then, right?
Yep.
So, all right, do we want to do the Gladius Valiant giveaway raffle, Ender?
Yeah, we let's go ahead and do the Gladius Valiant now.
All right, let's go ahead and do that, everybody. If you let me get my windows set up. I'm juggling way too
I'm
many
ready to
windows tonight.
close it whenever
All
you're
right, let's
ready.
go
I've
ahead and
got
close
the
it.
thing
Let's go ahead and
closing it
close it.
in 5, 4, 3, 2. It's closed.
All right, I'm going to shuffle these, by the way. All right,
I'm
everybody.
going ahead and opening the. Hold on, what's the next one? Appears to be the.
If CIG is hyping up the Idris feathers, they're doing a fantastic job. Again, as we've talked about, so many interesting things have come out about it. Um, that we've never seen before. And remember, when CIG puts out a build to Evocati or to PTU, they are very, very well aware that people data mine this stuff. They're not stupid. They definitely know people data mine this stuff. And again, that's why I say if they are not planning on releasing it, then they really trolled the community, because they very easily could have come out and say, hey, everyone, we've seen the talk about the Idris P. It's not going to backers this year. Just wanted to bring down expectations. Now, I'm still 50-50. I think it could go either way, personally. If you want my prediction on it, I think we're literally 50-50 that it could release. I just think if they don't
The,
release it, they've really set themselves up to be slammed. But anyway,
the Anvil Hawk is now
okay.
online.
Anvil Hawk now live. All right, everybody. This is for the Aegis Gladius Valiant. We've had a bunch of people put in donations towards this raffle. Again, we really appreciate the
Wow.
donations. Up to $15,755 raised. We had 55 entries in on the Gladius Valiant, or 55 tickets sold, I guess we should say. So here we go. We're going to spin. Ender, do you want to do the countdown from 3?
Yeah, let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Get it!
We're spinning, everyone. Good luck to everyone out there. Ender will reach out via email. Oh my. Oh, it's Rooster Rage. It just clicked over from Rage 1 to Rooster Rage. Congratulations, Rooster Rage. Congratulations. I will take a screenshot of this like I always do. Congratulations on that. That's awesome. That's a cool ship. That's a really cool ship. And it was a
Yes,
popular
it
one. We had a lot of
is.
donations come in on that one.
Good job,
And
Rooster.
big thanks to Bingo Winchester in chat right now. Bingo donating that ship for this giveaway. Bingo, we want to give you the big double salute, sir. Thank you for being such an awesome Starjump community member. Bingo helping us at events, going to Val renewals, being just a generally awesome Star Jumper. So again, we really, really appreciate it.
Agent, we did indeed see the walkthrough. We did.
Yes, we did. We did. Very, very exciting. And I think next week, by the way, everyone, we're going to get the the next behind the ships, where they're going to highlight the next 4 ships. We do know there's an unknown ship. And another thing Jared said and then later deleted on Twitter was he said that all the ships that are coming flight ready at ILW, so Victus Launch Week, all the ships were shown in this video that they released on Friday. Okay. All the ships were shown. Now, we didn't see an ironclad there, as much as I wish we did. We did not see one. But there was one ship that we did see in that video, and that was the Idris P. And they kind of made a point to stick on it a time or two, a little longer than you would think. So again, the Idris P is still in the running if that is a ship you're looking forward to. And look, if the Idris does come to backers, even for people who don't own the ship or do not care about the ship, it's still a big moment. It is one of the longest in development ships in the entire game. It is a capital ship. And whenever stuff like that gets to the backers' hands finally, I look at that as a success and a win. It means CIG has ticked off one more thing on the list of things to deliver to the people that have funded the development of this game, right? So again, even if you're not into the Idris, don't care anything about it, it's still a big deal for it to come out. All right, now we need to move on to the next giveaway. And this is for the Starjump Fleet Viewer custom livery. Okay, so we're going to bring over some tabs here. If you're on Twitch, you just need to do !ticket or !ticket space max to get in on this. I'm going to let this run for a minute. Those of you on YouTube, hopefully you left a comment over on the YouTube link that's pinned to the top of chat over there on YouTube. And for those people, we're going to be bringing up our good friend, the YouTube comment shark picker. We just had another donation come in. Tailgater with a $200 donation. Tailgater, oh my God.
Goodness. Hell.
Woo, with the big 200. This is not your only $200 donation. That much I
No,
know.
it's
Everyone
not.
give Tailgater a big old double salute in chat. Very nice job, Tailgater. Appreciate that.
Art supplies and the Anvil Carrick and the RSI Polaris. Dude, you're awesome, Tailgater.
Very, very
Thank
cool.
you.
Very, very cool. Thank you very, very much for that. We do sincerely appreciate it. It's really really cool the support and stuff we've gotten from this community. Okay, everyone. So we're pulling up the YouTube comment picker here. We're going to do that now. And what we've done to do that type of giveaway is we've put in the video. It is the Starjump Station SitCon 2954 What Should Be in 1.0 video. Hopefully, the comments have been made. I put the after date as today's date. And starting at 9 p.m. So any comment within there, I'm going to pick the random comment, and here's how it's going to work. I'm going to take whoever wins this, whoever's the comment that is chosen, your name is going to go in the wheel of names. Okay. And then we're going to do the stream elements, the Twitch one. We're going to pull that winner, and we're going to put both of you in the wheel of names. And then that, we'll spin that, and then whoever wins that is the winner of the Starjump Fleet Viewer livery. If you win, you will need to get in contact with me. I'll explain how that works. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and choose the YouTube comment. Hopefully you got those in. Good luck to everyone. I will want to see if the person is in YouTube though. So here we go. Drawing that random comment now. Truther. Truther did an 07 18 minutes ago. Truther, if you're in chat, go ahead and say hello so that I can verify you, and we will get you into the wheel of names. Congratulations on that. By the way, everyone, don't forget to get your tickets purchased if you're over on the Twitch side of things. Who wants a custom Fleet Viewer livery? Truther, are you in chat? Truther, let me know if you're. There he is. There's Truther. Truther, hello. Okay, we got your name in the wheel of names. Congratulations on that. Let me bring the wheel of names over. We've got Truther in the wheel of names. Now it's time to draw our Twitch side. And Truther says he never wins anything. Truther, I'm rooting for you. I am rooting for you. I've got the same sort of luck. I think Enter also has this sort of luck.
Yes, absolutely.
We
I get to give
never
a lot of stuff
win
away,
anything.
though.
Yeah.
We get to give a ton of stuff away.
Yeah.
So
here we go, everybody. We're closing the giveaway for Stream Elements in 3, 2, 1. That is now closed. We're drawing a winner. The winner is a Dragger. Dragger, I like it. Okay, we're grabbing Dragger's name. We're putting it down here as well. Okay, we have both names there. Both names. Dragger, are you in chat? Is Dragger in chat? Dragger's in chat. There we go. Okay, we got both names in there. Good luck to both of you. Whoever wins this will get a custom Starjump Fleet Viewer ship. Here's how that works. After you win, if Truther, if you win on YouTube, you're going to need to contact me through DM on Discord. Okay, you need to get a hold of me there, and I'll get all the information I need from you. Dragger, if you win, I will whisper you via Twitch, and I'll get the information from you there. Okay, I'll do that after the stream tonight, though. Okay, so good luck, everyone. We're about to roll this wheel of names here. Here we go. In 3,
roll that
2,
beautiful bean
1.
footage.
Beautiful bean footage. Here we go. And it's Truther. It just landed on Truther. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Truther? You won something, bud.
You won something, my friend. You won something. Congratulations, Truther. You just need to contact me through Discord, Starjump_Grim. Citizen Joel says rigged. We know it is. We know it is. Nice job, Truther. Just contact me through Discord, and we'll get you set up with the details that I will need for that custom Fleet Viewer ship. And again, for those that don't know, if you go to Starjump Fleet Viewer, actually, let me switch. Was I not showing that? Oh God!
You weren't.
Oh, for God's sakes! Here it is, though. I still have the wheel of names up, and here's the winner. It was Truther, everybody. Sorry about that. Hello, Kusnagi says hello. What did he win? He won a custom Fleet Viewer ship. And I can go over here just so everyone can verify. Dragger was the winner of the Stream Elements giveaway. Here's his name right here on the YouTube comment picker. Truther was the winner, and then we put them in the wheel of names, and Truther was the ultimate winner. For those of you who don't know, though, on Starjump Fleet Viewer, you can uncheck this official only button that's in the very top right. You can't see it because it's cut off, but if you uncheck that, you will see fan ships. We have this one here. We have the Lisa 600i, a former Starjump community member, still a Starjump community member, but she has passed on. Love her dearly. So again, lots of fan and community ships in here, but this is how you get one. You get to name the ship, pick the colors, all that good stuff. So Congratulations, everybody. We've had a great night. It's been a lot of fun. This has been an episode that I'm sure a lot of you feel like you've probably seen multiple times because, again, a lot of the content creators out there are streaming the same Invictus launch week news. But again, we're 5 days from Invictus, so it's going to be a lot of the same news. But that is the thing to talk about in the Star Citizen world. As soon as we know more about the Idris, obviously, we'll be able to talk more specifically. I do have things like the interior of the Idris and stuff that we can explore. You can also tour it yourself right now. At the on the PTUs again. I encourage everyone to go check it out. It's really cool. Haven't seen the new ships in person yet because they're not on the show floor, but I imagine in a PTU release next week, they'll probably hit the show floor and then soon after go live
Mhm.
for everyone. So yeah, there we go. It's been a great show. We've raised some money. Do not forget about Quantum Vegas. We're going to raid someone tonight, and let's see who we've got. All
We got a
right.
couple.
We do have a couple. We do have a couple. Looking at the list as we see. Let's see. Let's see. As we see. Who are we going to send this wonderful Starjump community to? That's the kicker. Who are we sending
I
them
got
to?
options if
Ender,
you're
pick who we're raiding
unsure.
tonight. Pick who we're raiding tonight, Ender.
Um.
Moo235 just said, and I want to read this because I appreciate it, Moo. Really appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
He says, "You lads don't do the constant fluffing and clickbait, though. Much prefer this perspective." Well, we really appreciate that. We say it how it is. Sometimes we're more educated on a topic than usual. Sometimes we're not very educated on
Mhm.
a topic. We don't know every facet of the game. We know the parts we know, but we enjoy talking about it and we enjoy connecting with you all in chat. Saku, thank you very much for the follow, sending the javelin overhead. So it's been a lot of fun. Ender, who are we raiding tonight?
We're gonna raid Pink Hat Squad
Let's do it.
member. Super good
Do
person.
you want to tell
She's
everyone who the Pink Hat Squad is really quick, though, before we do that raid?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So Pink Hat Squad is you'll see us wearing these hats here. We are the team I'm part of this year, raising money for St. Jude.
Yeah.
So she is currently playing Repo for St. Jude. Yeah. Um,
There we go.
actually, we're doing a different one. It's another Pink Hat Squad member. I'm sorry. This one's actually a different one, and I just noticed that he just started streaming. I'm picking him for a very specific reason,
Okay.
and I'm actually going to tell this quick story.
Please do.
Tito came to St. Jude Play Live for the first time last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that he was being very specific in the way he was looking around. He seemed to recognize everything, but he almost seemed to be looking at it for the first time in a very different light.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I found out after we got back that Tito is not only a St. Jude fundraiser who started streaming for St. Jude for the first time
Mm-hmm.
last year. The reason he started streaming for St. Jude for the first time last year is because he didn't want to fundraise in his normal way.
Mm.
He does a very successful fundraising at the same time of year every year, raises quite a bit of money. He is a lawyer. His wife is a doctor, and he is a St. Jude parent.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter had cancer, and him and his wife took their daughter to St. Jude. She is now 12 years old. She is cancer free, and she is thriving very well. But
Mm-hmm.
he didn't say a word to any of us the entire time he was there. Not because he didn't want to talk about his St. Jude reason, but because he didn't want to make people think that he was like there for a better reason than anybody else.
Yeah.
And when he finally outed himself in front of somebody, it was because they recognized him, and it was Jason. And Jason was like, "Dude, do I know you?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, I kind of been wanting to talk to you about that." And he told Jason, and Jason was like, "Dude, how have you not said anything this whole time?"
Yeah.
And we found out after the fact, and we were all pretty upset because we were like, "Dude, you could have told us." So
Hmm.
we're gonna raid Tito.
Let's
Really
do it.
good dude. Give him a follow, and give him some Starjump love, guys.
Yeah, please
Seriously,
do.
super great guy.
Thank you
Well,
all.
come on.
You're all
You
amazing. Ender, let me
should.
know when we're ready to raid. Everybody, thanks for hanging
Table.
out with us tonight. I know it was kind of a loose conversation where you ran through things kind of quick. Wasn't a super deep dive like I thought it was going to be, but we covered what was covered and what is kind of known. And it was just fun hanging out with everybody.
Yes, it is.
All right.
All right, and we are ready.
All right. Let's do it. Let me know when we're off.
We are off. Hey, everybody, do something kind for a random stranger, and we love you guys.